You got knocked down. Now it's time to rise stronger than ever. This is Forged by Fire, the Intentional Man podcast for husbands, fathers, and leaders who refuse to stay broken. We rebuild with purpose, we live with clarity, and we lead like hell's watching. Let's get to work. All right, welcome to episode 14. And this week we're going to talk about some current events. And let me just start off by saying this as clearly as I can. If you're willing to risk your marriage, if you're willing to risk your legacy, if you're willing to risk spending time with your kids for some quick fix, some side chick, you're not a leader. You're not a man. I guess you're a man. You're a weak man who has no control over his own damn urges. You know, some people think that's strength. You think that's strength? It's not strength. That's weakness. Weakness wearing a watch. And those of you who keep up with current events, I'm sure you guys have heard the story of the CEO at the Coldplay concert, the Coldplay guy. For those of you who haven't, let me give you kind of a quick version of the story that's really been making a ton of rounds, ton of memes all around online. So at a Coldplay concert, they do the kiss cam and a camera pans to a guy with his arms around a woman. And very quickly, they pull away and they realize that they're on the big screen. After they realize they're on the big screen, you see the guy kind of go away and the female ducks out. Turns out the guy's like a multimillionaire CEO of some AI company. He's married. The woman is his HR manager. The woman turns out to be his HR manager. She's divorced. And that 1 second of panic, that really told the whole story. And here's where it gets wild. This guy has a beautiful wife, a family, a company, and he's about to throw it all away. For someone who probably writes corporate DEI memos, reports offensive jokes in the break room, I mean, you guys get who I'm talking about. That trade isn't just stupid, it's weak. It's done by a weak man. And let's be blunt, he traded a 8 or 9 for a 4. He's about to lose 8, 9 figures in net worth. He'll lose at least half the time with his kids. He'll probably get sued. He may even have to fire her. Who knows how these things work out. But he'll never get his reputation back. And for what? Because he wanted to feel good in a moment? Because he wanted someone to laugh at his jokes or stroke his ego? Newsflash. Lust without discipline is self-destruction. Every single time. If you can't lead your own body, your own mind, your own impulses, you're not fit to lead anyone else. You're just not. Now, I want to give you a story of my own marriage, kind of like an integrity test, I guess you could say. Now, this isn't theory. This is real life. This is yesterday. And yesterday I got a text reminder for a credit card payment, and I ignored it. With all the spam going around, it looked like spam to me. It just popped up on my phone. I swiped up and never opened it. And just to kind of set the tone of what's going on here, my wife and I have always had a open phone, open electronics policy. She's free to look at my phone at any time. I'm free to look at her phone anytime. And we've just always had that, just so that there's in this day and age, we don't want to keep any secrets from one another. So we've just always kind of had that policy. Later in the day, Krista saw the notification and tapped on it. She hates having notifications, and on my phone, her phone, she just hates seeing that little red dot, so she tapped on it. And in that message, it gave me a reminder about a credit card payment, had a link there to do it. She clicked the link, and when she clicked the link, it opened up to my credit card account, and she saw the purchase on it. It's no big deal purchase, something she was aware of, but she had forgotten that I had opened that credit card. My wife's gone through chemotherapy, radiation. During chemotherapy, she happens to forget some things every once in a while. And it's something that happens every now and then, and she had forgot that we had talked about it. Chemo does that to people. Memory loss happens. So it bothered her. And, rightfully so. She didn't know that I had a credit card, and, I don't know if I'd be bothered or not, but she was bothered, and justifiably so if she didn't know I had it. She wasn't bothered because of the charge, but because, for a second in her mind, she was filling in the blanks. She was wondering what was going on, and so later she asked me about it, and it wasn't aggressive. It wasn't any type of way. She just asked me about it. She's like, "Hey, I didn't know you had this card." And so I had a couple choices in that moment, and I could have reacted. I could have overreacted. I could have reacted. I could have said, "What, you don't trust me?" or got defensive, but I didn't. I know what she's going through. I was patient with her, and I also reminded her that we had talked about this card twice already. And then she started to feel bad for going through my phone and doing that type of stuff. And I just reminded her. I reminded her that she never has to feel bad for checking anything, whether she's being nosy, whether she just wants to know what's going on, whether she's just looking. I really don't care. I don't hide anything from her. And I told her, you can look through my phone, my computer, my messages, anytime you want. Why? Because I have nothing to hide. Now, that's not because I'm perfect. Let's get that out of the way. I'm not perfect. But it's because I've chosen to live it's not because I'm perfect. I'm not. Furthest thing from it. It's because I've chosen to live in a way that earns trust. I don't demand it. So, do you want to be the kind of man whose wife never wonders what they're hiding? Then stop hiding. Live clean. Live honest. Be consistent. That's how trust is rebuilt. For those of you guys struggling with trust and wife not trusting you for whatever reason, it could be a multitude of factors. Stop hiding things. Again, live clean. Live like you have nothing to hide. Because if you truly don't have anything to hide, you're going to start rebuilding that trust. But if you're always trying to hide something, whether it's whether you buy Zen, whether you buy alcohol, or whatever you're trying to hide from your wife, she may not know what it is, but she knows you're hiding something. So stop hiding it. Be honest with her. Be consistent. And you're going to start rebuilding that trust. So getting back to our story of that CEO, I won't even mention his name, but a lot of people think that money makes a man, but money doesn't make you a man. Don't confuse success with strength. Your title doesn't make you respected. Your salary doesn't make you trustworthy. It's none of those things. Fucking thing. You can wear a suit, you can drive the car, and still be a child in a grown man's body. Chasing feelings instead of building something that lasts. You're a child. Build something that lasts. Build something that's sustainable. And stop chasing every whim and emotion. Stop chasing every hard-on. It doesn't get you where you want to go. And a lot of people ask why men do this. And I'll tell you why. It's easy. It's cheap validation. Some of you are too soft to face the real work of leadership at home. You don't want to fight for it. You don't want to fight for connection with your wife. You don't want to fight for connection with your wife. You want someone new who doesn't know your failures. You don't want to earn respect. You want to buy attention, and it shows. I've coached a lot of men, and sooner or later, almost every one of them asks the same damn question. How do I get my wife to want me again? Let me tell you, that's the wrong question. The real question is, that's the wrong question. The real question is, would you want you if you were her? Let me say that again. Would you want her? Let me say that again. Would you want you if you were her? Are you present? Are you consistent? Are you dependable under pressure? Are you leading your life, or are you just reacting to it? Because here's the deal, man. Women Here's the deal, man. Women are wired for safety. And you can't expect her to open up to you physically or emotionally when you're unstable, inconsistent, or operating like a ghost in your own damn house. She doesn't want to mother you, man. She doesn't. She doesn't want another child in the home. She doesn't want to guess what version of you is showing up today. She doesn't want to be the one doing all the emotional heavy lifting when you avoid doing the real work. You want more connection, more sex, more respect? then be the man who deserves it. I'm going to give you guys another story. Again, happened 2 days ago. I got a string of texts recently from a guy in full collapse. When I'm talking full collapse, it's the worst I've seen in a while, but it happens all the time to varying degrees. His wife locked him out. He had no money, no plan, no stability. And guess what? He blamed her for all of it. Like a whiny little bitch, blamed her for all of it. Man, he was saying things to me like, she won't give me my clothes, my money, or my daughter. I just need somewhere to sleep for a week. She should have let me stay in bed longer. I've been kicked out of restaurants. I haven't showered in 10 days. She sold her body, and I'm still trying to defend her. And the list goes on and on and on and on. It was a long list. It was a long couple hours of talking with this guy. And I tried to give him some advice, tried to point him in the right way. But let me tell you, when you have zero ownership and you just are trapped in victimhood, chaos, and collapse, it's not good. It's not good. You've got to take ownership. And look, I have compassion for any man in pain. I do. But what I don't do is lie to them. I won't lie to them. But what I won't do is I won't lie to him. This isn't strength. It's not masculinity. It's not leadership. This is what happens when you don't lead your own life. When you make excuses, when you wait for someone else to save you, when you become the storm in your marriage instead of the anchor. You want your wife to follow your lead? Then you better have a lead worth following. Because no woman is turned on by a man who's falling apart. Not physically, not emotionally, not sexually. What you want to do is build a legacy. And this is what legacy looks like. You build a business, you raise a family, you grow a reputation. That's your kingdom. And are you willing to throw that all away, burn it to the ground for 5 minutes of escape? That's not masculine, man. That is pathetic. That is weakness. That is the lowest form. Throw it all away for a couple seconds of fun. Do not be that man. Don't be that man. You've got to lead your home like it matters, because really it does. You see, leadership isn't just about what you build. It's about what you protect. And no, I'm not talking about controlling your wife or making her submit. That's not the bullshit I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a man who shows up when it's hard, who handles his urges instead of chasing them, who leads himself so well that she wants to follow, because she knows she's safe. That's what a real man does. So if this hit home, good. Because you've been drifting, man. Maybe you've entertained thoughts you shouldn't have. Maybe you're already started down that path. Here's your chance to stop. Not with guilt, not with shame, with truth and action. Go take that brutally honest marriage audit. Get clear on where you stand as a husband, as a man, and a leader. Links in the show notes. It's free, it's raw, and it's real. And if you're the kind of man who's ready to lead again, that's where you start. So stop hiding, start leading, and I'll see you next week.